Hello children, welcome again to your e-learning classes, and this is for class 8. Let's begin with our chapter, A Child's Bedtime Song, from your literature reader, and this is composed in fact by Dennis E. Waitley. So children, let's get started and understand who Dennis E. Waitley was. So, Dennis E. Waitley is an American motivational speaker. He's a writer and consultant. Children, he's been recognized as the best-selling author of the audio series, The Psychology of Winning, and has written books such as Seeds of Greatness and The Winner's Edge. Well, Waitley has been inducted into the International Speakers Hall of Fame. And now that's a really big thing. He was born in San Diego, California, which is in the United States. And he was educated at the United States Naval Academy. He's had movies like The Seeds of Greatness, Roots, The Seeds of Greatness, which is, to his credit. So, he's also written, Raising Confident Kids. Now, because he has written this particular book, Raising Confident Kids, children, you can well understand that he is basically, a psychological writer. He's writing too many things on psychology. Okay. So, well, let's get started towards your book. Okay, your poem's name is, as I said, the bedtime song, A Child's Bedtime Song, right? So before we get started towards understanding what this entire poem is all about, children, I want you all to understand a few things about what really poem is and why should you be reading or going through a poem. We go through poems not just, it's very easy to, go through a poem and think that, well, if I am, reading a book, why do I need to read a poem? Why do I need to understand a poem? Why do I need to go through it? Children, if you go through, your entire childhood, if you go, see you're growing up, you will understand that everywhere around you there have been poems, there are lyrics. Poems consist of lyrics, they consist of poetical devices which are used every now and then to make a poem the way it is. Okay, you listen to songs, you sing them. You in fact go through in your childhood you must have gone through nursery rhymes which you actually sing. Okay, so it is basically like when I say sing, it's like you sing like twinkle twinkle. You don't say twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. No, what do you really do? You say twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what ye are, up above the world so high, and so on and so forth, right? But on the other hand, when you are going through something like prose, you're actually just reading it out. Okay? Whenever a poem comes in front of you, you automatically start speaking it with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of emotions involved, and hence the reading becomes a lot more different than the way you read a prose. Okay, in our history, you will come across a whole lot of poets who used to accompany the kings for wars, right? In olden times, it wasn't as if there's a war going on and they are sitting and watching a TV or something, or listening to some music. because listening to any kind of music could get them so emotional that they could even forget about the war. But instead, if you had a poet along with you for a war, the poet would increase your, desire to win the war. Okay? It would bring about more meaning to the war. And it is because of these poets that you come to know what your actual history was. See, now you look at Mahabharata, you look at Ramayana, they are in Sanskrit or whatever language, but the fact remains that they told you about the war not in a prose form but in a more poetical form. Okay, they are epics. Poems are of various types, as in when you grow into senior classes, you will get to know more and more about them. I wouldn't want to go into detail because in fact I'll spend the entire day telling you about this, what is an epic and so on and so forth. But right now, understand that this poem of yours, A Child's Bedtime Song, is more of a metaphysical poem. When I say metaphysical, I mean that what is being written can be well understood in a different way. Okay? It could well be understood as if, the poet is trying to tell you something in a more different way. Now, suppose if I say to you that, hey you, where are you going? Come back here. Okay. So, or if I say something to you that, where are you going? Don't you think that you should be sitting here and studying? And if I just say this to you every now and then definitely, you will get fed up of it. But if I say something to you in a more poetical manner, right? Like, where art thou going yet? A long way to go, work to be done. Okay, or something like this. I'm not a poet, so I really can't, mix up words very nicely and tell it to you. But then definitely, you will understand that this is very different. It's like supposed to be metaphysical, and you are able to understand it in a different way. Like, I'm sure if you recollect and go through my previous video on the road not taken, again you will find I had explained a lot about this. Okay, so this again is the same thing. The only thing is that this is majorly meant for children. Okay, is meant for growing up kids, for children of your age, where you're growing up. You need to understand the monetary gains in life, the materialistic values of life, as compared to those of the emotional values of life, right? So let's start reading this poem. It's like, if I had 2 wishes, know what they would be. I'd wish for roots to cling to and wings to set me free. Roots of inner values, like rings within a tree, and wings of independence to seek my destiny. Now, children, what the poet over here is saying, that if he had 2 wishes, you know what it would be? It would be to wish for roots to cling to. Now, when you understand, the roots of a tree, they are the ones which hold the tree strong and steady. It is not as if the wings, the roots go, they go deeper inside the earth and they hold you on together. They hold the tree from falling down or getting uprooted. Okay? And the wings to set me free, it is only the wings, you look at any insect, even if it is a dragonfly, or you look at a bird, right? They soar high up. And how do they soar high up? They soar higher and higher only because of their wings. Okay? And it is the wings that set you free, because you can fly away anywhere you want. Okay? Now he says, roots of inner values, like rings within a tree. Now he's saying that the roots should be of inner value. It should be your own value, your your inner system, what you really desire, what you really think. Are you a person who's going to go and boss around and just sit on the lavishness which has been actually built by your parents and not think of what you are really doing? Okay, whether you're going to be an honest man or what kind of person are you going to be? Okay, those are the values that he would want from the tree, from the roots. And he wants to be like that, the rings of a tree. Now children, if you look at the second picture, this is the rings picture which I have made. I'm quite sure many of you have seen it, and I don't know how many of you had ever tried looking at it, but as and when we were having this bridge built, the flyover which is still under construction, and there, if you recollect, there were trees which had been felled, and when they were felling these trees, you could see the rings over there. I don't know if any of you ever tried to look through it, but I'm quite sure those who are living in the villages, they would actually be able to see trees when the logs are there. You can actually see these rings over there, and the rings tell you the number of years that this particular tree has lived. Okay, so this is what he's saying, that when you look at the rings within the tree, then you understand that this particular tree has withstood the test of times for how many years. Okay, and wings of independence to seek my destiny. That is, only if you are independent can you seek your destiny. If you are going to carry on and on living your life with the way the other person is trying to tell you, or he's trying to make you understand, I'm sure you cannot actually do it, right? Then roots to hold forever, to keep me safe and strong, to let me know you love me when I've done something wrong, to show me by example and help me learn to choose, to take those actions every day to win instead of lose. Now, what he's saying is that the roots should be there to hold me forever and to keep me safe and strong. Okay, because if you are deep rooted, please be very sure of this, because if you are really deep rooted, you can always be safe and strong, because then there's no pressure on earth which can actually uproot you, it can actually take you away. Because if you're deep rooted, see, you must have come across many trees that when they're chopped off, they grow back again. Yeah, you'll find them going back again. They'll have shoots and branches and everything coming out from some other places, but the tree won't die. Okay, so similarly, if you are deep rooted, you can test any kind of time. The test of times will be nothing for you, and you'll be so strong within yourself. To let me know you love me, he says that you need to let me know that you really love me when I've done something wrong. See, basically parents, they do what? They say that, okay, if you made a mistake, no problem. Get up, brush yourself up and move on. Okay. But if you are just going to, if the child is constantly rebuked and is thrown out of the house, he cannot be deep rooted. And I don't think that there is any parent who actually does this to the child. Okay, so this is what he's saying, that I just need to know that you love me and that you will stand by me even if I made a mistake. Okay, you will help me rectify my mistakes. Okay, so this is what he's saying, to show me by example and help me to learn to choose. Okay, he wants to know that whether he's going on the right path or not. If that is something that my parents could help me. Of course, your parents wouldn't tell you that, you know what, I want you to be this just because this. If the person is able to reason with you, and you can reason with your parents only and only if you have actually been showing them that you are a very strong person and you're capable of trying to choose. So if you really feel that you're right in whatever you're choosing, you will sit and reason it out with your parents. Not just get up and start crying and saying, you don't understand me, and so on and so forth. You can't say this to your parents. Of course, they have more years of experience. So if you are a person who can listen, and if you're a person who can talk and reason out things, then there is no reason why your parents wouldn't want you to know you and to make you understand. Okay, so this is what he says, that if you could help me to learn to choose, to take those actions every day to win instead of lose. And that is that if you could help me take those kind of actions where I win every day instead of losing, right? And then he says that just be there when I need you, to tell me it's all right, to face my fear of falling when I test my wings in flight. Now what he's saying is that if you could just uplift me, if you could help me to understand and tell me if everything is all right or not. And in fact, the biggest fear which most of us face is that of falling. Okay, and he says that if you could help me test my flight, if you could help me test whether I am able to fly or not, right? And of course you must have if you recollect your previous story also, in that also there was this chick was very, very scared of, actually I wouldn't say a chick, the seagull was very, very scared of taking its first flight. Why? Because he was very scared of falling down. It was like, I really can't test my wings. But what did the mother say? Instead of feeding the child with the fish every now and then, the mother instead said, don't worry, I'm going to help you, right? And the mother helped the child to take the first flight. Similarly here, the child is now saying to the parents that if you could help me test my wings so that I can fly. And he says, don't make my life too easy, it's better if I try. Now this is something very different. It's very easy for a child to come up and say, what did you leave for me? What was it that you left for me? Right? But very difficult to say that please don't leave anything for me. I want to test my life. I don't want you to make it very easy for me. Because I would want that I am able to try what I want to do and fail and get back up myself so I can learn to fly. He says that, even if I fail, I can get back up again, and then again I can learn to fly, because it is by mistakes that you learn. You don't learn just like this. It's only with mistakes, because when you make a mistake, you try and understand where you went wrong, and then you know that the next time you wouldn't go wrong. You would instead get up and move on, right? So this is precisely what even this poet is saying, right? So now in the next stanza we have, if I had 2 wishes and 2 were all I had, and they would just be granted by my mom and dad, I wouldn't ask for money or any store-bought things. The greatest gifts I'd ask for are simply roots and wings. So what is he saying? That I wouldn't want anything else. I would just want that I know my parents are there with me, and I wouldn't want anything which is monetary. When he says over here, I wouldn't ask for money or for any store-bought things, means that he's saying that he wouldn't want anything to do with money. Okay, he wouldn't want that, you bring me the biggest brand clothes or a branded watch or shoes or something like that, some such thing. But he says that I want you to gift me the biggest gift, and that is of roots and wings. Because only if you are deep rooted, right? If you're deep rooted, then you know what you are, right? And you never go away from your roots then, because that is where you belong. See, a bird will always go back to the nest. Why is it so? Because the bird knows that this is where she belongs. The kids are there, her kids are there. So the bird would definitely want to go back to where the bird is, right? And then it says that it is only and only when you are, you don't think of monetary gains, is it that you can lead a better life. So this is what this poet is trying to tell you. I don't want anything to do with monetary gains. All I need is that emotional, the emotional happiness, the emotional being, and the emotional strength that can be given only by parents and nobody else. Okay? Because your roots are your parents. It is they who make the roots. Right? So this is what this entire poem is all about. I hope you're reading it along with the explanation that I'm giving you so that you can understand this better. Please do it while reading. View this video with reading. Okay? Thank you. That will be all. But before I leave, I want to tell you two beautiful quotes that I came across written by this poet. And this actually is very well related to this poem. He says, the greatest gifts you can give your children are the roots of responsibility and the wings of independence. Okay? Because if you do not give your children any kind of responsibility, then they can never be what they actually will become. Because if you say, oh, he's too small, how can he fold his clothes? Right? Whereas if you don't allow your child to fold his own clothes, to wash his own clothes, or to look after his own cupboard, at least the child can do that. Only then does he understand the feeling of responsibility. If you go inside your child's room and you start doing the bed and everything for the child will never learn. But if you say that, okay, this is your room, you want to live in a mess, go ahead. One day will come when the child will say, boss, I need to clean up my room. I can't be living like this. Okay? So this is what he's saying, that you need to give your children the wings of independence, right? And the roots of responsibility. Then the other quote that he says is that there are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist, or to accept the responsibilities for changing them. What he means is that if you want to build yourself really strong, if you want to have a very strong personality, you need to learn acceptance. Okay, that is accepting your choices. If you've made a certain choice, then you need to accept the outcome as well. Because you can't say that, I never chose this, you chose it for me. Because you have made a certain choice, you need to be able to accept it, and then only can you learn responsibility. Because if you've made a mistake, if you know that I chose this, I made this mistake, and then I am going to rectify it again. Okay? Take responsibility of what I chose in life. Right? Thank you. God bless you all. Take care. Bye bye.